Ross, how is your pee break?
My pee break.
They might flash you undetected.
Wear them, baby.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I, too, am a thought criminal.
Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor. Welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor. Indeed. I was apprehensive about doing tonight's show because my brain may as well live in a sewer like the clown from It at this point. Like, I don't even know. These people are driving me to drink. I actually do have a little bit of buzz because I just came from happy hour, but don't worry, I have the coffee to sort of counteract it and restore some brain cells. But it's a good thing that I am hopping on this stream on GNN with you all tonight because I have some breaking news. I know that the Jimmy Kimmel story is a big deal. The ongoing Candace Owens fever dream investigation and like the Bibi Netanyahu in cahoots with this assassination, like all that's a big deal. But guys, I think that my breaking news here on GNN tonight, it is going to be the stuff of history books, and it may just break the internet. And I'm going to save it until a few more of you hop on. And I'm only laughing because it's so absurd. Like, it's actually funny. If it wasn't so sad, it would actually be funny, but it's funny and sad. So get ready for it. Okay. But in the meantime, let me just tell you all where the fuck I'm at today. I'm still sleeping with my light on. Okay. I am still indeed. I just have the giggles tonight because I wasn't going to do this app. I wasn't going to do the app. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, this stuff, I have been in the weeds. Like, you would never know of this shit. And like, I'm in Tropic Thunder, whatever that movie is, that would never fly today. It would be canceled. You know, the one with Ben Stiller and all them where Robert Downey's in blackface. And so I've just been so in mental gymnastics and really sleeping with my light on still because I just have the like heebie-jeebies with everything, to use my kindergarten slang. So I'm not getting much sleep. I'm really wrapped up in all of this. And obviously this whole debate with Jimmy Kimmel, like I'm absorbing it all. And you guys know, like, free speech is my bitch. Like, it has been my mission, my hill to die on. And so I'm seeing all this and I am just like, if you guys are familiar with reality TV, I am Kristen Cavallari in Hills when she's like, you want to go, bitch? If you want to go, it's on right now. Like, that is me. So all that to say, I was going to sit this one out tonight. You know, like third string quarterback and be like, I'm just going to watch it all happen. And someone close to me, who you all may know, said, Taylor, just go on with where you're at. Just go on and tell the people what you're digesting, absorbing. And so lucky for you all, you're going to be buckled into that experience. And so I have been sleeping with the lights on. And there's a part of me that's like, I just see everybody, especially with the Jimmy Kimmel stuff. Like, I see everybody on both sides chiming in, having meltdowns, doing hot takes. And there's a part of me that's like, am I just another voice in the void? You know, maybe I am. Maybe I am just a voice in the void. I'm trying to be really cognizant of that. Like, everyone and their mom and their moms before, and their moms on the Mayflower, for all I care, like, who came back to life. Like, everybody is chiming in. And is it just going into the abyss? And I thought, I don't know. I always believe that there's someone, even if it's one single person out there, if it's you, Jim, if it's you, you know, Anna, I don't know, you know, Anna in Arkansas, maybe do that, you know, it'll help you feel a type of way and like you're not alone, and just be honest with it. You know, that's the other thing too. Everyone's like so packaged and punchy and they have their whole little soundbite. Dave Portnoy is not. I'll give him credit. He's like very real and off the cuff, but this is just as real as it gets. You know, a little bit buzzed from one half of a rosé, like a pipsqueak, sad little loser. I don't really drink as much anymore these days, and just being like, should I do this at all? I Anyways, like, I don't even know. This thing has literally, I mean, my poor little brain is hanging by a thread. Just call me Cardi B. That's how I feel going into this. You know that Cardi B quote? She's like, I'm losing my motherfucking medulla. That is me. I look nothing like Cardi B, sound nothing like Cardi B, but I am Cardi B in spirit in that moment. Okay, so before I get to my big breaking news, the other things too is like, yes, I'm constantly just taking all of this in. I'm trying to absorb it all. There's a lot going on. And I have to be honest too, like, hasn't this just made you think twice, three times, a lady, I don't even know, about how you interact with people? I had all of these people like in a work capacity, and maybe they were gonna, hey, JCL, happy Thursday, get along for this ride because it is like a shit show already, okay? You'll see in the intro if you look back. So if you know, Blockbuster, Be Kind, Rewind. And so I don't even know what's happening. It's like I'm second guessing everything. I'm all up in my head. I had people who were, you know, supposed to come on the show or work stuff, and they're not responding. I'm like, is it something I said? Like now I'm all what's the word I'm looking for? This is what happens when you do this show after happy hour. Like paranoid. Like do I smell? Is it something I did? Something I said? Like all these people, they were gonna come on. And I know they aligned with me too, and like the Charlie Kirk stuff, all that. I'm just like, where's everybody at? Like, are you guys okay? Is it me? Again, is it something I said? I don't know. I'm starting to be a little, I'm not normally a paranoid girl, but I'm starting to be like, what, did I do something? And not only that too, but this whole thing, Theo Vaughn said it very well. It's even just like interacting with everybody, going in public, like I just can't unsee it. Now I'm thinking like every time you look at somebody you're close, first of all, it's kind of like you have this fear of like, is this person an axe murderer at any minute? Not trying to be funny, but kind of, it's actually like a serious thought that goes on in my head of like, you literally like can't trust anybody, but also like you look at anybody, it could be the barista, it could be the guy next to you in traffic, like it literally could be anyone. And you're like, where do they lie? What do they think about this? What do they think about that? And it is just a scary place to be. So, okay. Before we get into, I'm deciding if we should do the breaking news. You know, maybe we should do the breaking news. JCL, you're here for the breaking news. Okay, guys. So mark this day. This is news I just got the moment I hopped on this live stream. So this is like breaking. This is as fresh as a daisy as this shit gets. Well, guess what? I hereby announce this stream, this moment in time on this Thursday, September 18th, as perhaps history's first blonde, female, Jewish, tits out, brain out, mantra yelling, fascist you ever saw. That's right, everybody. I've officially been called a fascist. And it's like I said earlier, it's so absurd that I have to just laugh. Have I made it? Have I made it that I've now been called a fascist? I don't know. I feel like maybe I have. Where's my own primetime show? Where's my own slot? Where's my award? I just feel like it's the moment. It's finally that moment. So before hopping on here, this just shows you how ass backwards retarded the times we are in are. Okay, so this comes from somebody who is a scholar, so to speak. We've been following each other's work for a while and who I respect. I get a message out of the blue, literally just before this. No, JCL in the comments, you ready for this? Saying, Taylor, I didn't know you were such a right-wing person. I feel like we used to agree on a lot, but I've seen you. I can't even get it through without fucking laughing because it's so absurd. Okay, take two. I feel like we used to agree on a lot, but I've just seen you approving of fascism, which is frightening. Okay. So this just in. I, Taylor, have been approving of fascism, guys. It's what I do. With my tits out, my shirtless. I mean, I don't know what is more synonymous with a fascist society than a woman who calls out the powers that be, the government, both sides of the political aisle, has posed nude, whose entire speech in life is don't fucking tell me what to think or say, is tits out, brain out. Literally, I posted something to my Instagram today from my show the other night about how Steven Spielberg's daughter unfollowed me. She was like, "Oh, what you're saying?" Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, "I'm still gonna follow you because I can actually not melt down at someone disagreeing with me." So, but guys, I'm the fascist. I say in the clip, like, I'm actually a free speech advocate, so I can actually stomach and hear what someone else says that I agree with without fucking exploding. But I'm a fascist through and through. I sure am. All right. Yep. I think it was cemented in time in the moment that I posed butt ass naked in Playboy while simultaneously in the same essay, literally calling out the entire social, cultural, and political environment for clamping down on expression and speech and canceling each other. If that doesn't say fascist, I don't know what does. I feel it's like Sophia Bush on Twitter last night. I'm like, these people, I mean, I don't know, guys. Yes, like they entertain us and we're seeing it from everybody. It's literally, I talked about before, like you don't know, we're second guessing everything. Baristas, this, that, but it's like, how about like doctors, nurses, dentists, lawyers, pilots, all these people. So entertainers, it's one thing, but still, like Sophia Bush posted last night about Jimmy Kimmel. And she's like, this is a true fascist society and it's chilling. And it's like, you people don't even know what fascist fucking means. Literally say it. I wrote back to this person. I was like, okay, number one, that's extremely aggressive. But number two, literally name one time. Name one time. And this is like the Charlie Kirk thing. They're like, he's a racist, he's sexist. I'm like, every clip I've seen is like, I don't necessarily agree. My religion tells me this, but God sees us in his eyes. We're all the same. I'm like, wait, it's like treat women with honor and respect and black people too. I'm like, that is very racist and misogynist. I agree. I just really cannot. And so I wrote on Sophia Bush's, I responded to her on Twitter and I was like, maybe you shouldn't just in such a cavalier manner throw around words like fascism, because that's how we got in this mess. Like, hello, McFly, good morning, hi. Also define it for me. I'm sorry, like I respect this person who wrote me in my DMs, but the fact that they're a scholar and a teacher, I'm like, my eyes twitching. This is why you people are driving me to drink. I also went because I feel like I've just been in like, I don't know if I'm Tom Hanks or Wilson in Castaway or both, but either way, I feel like I've been in my own fever dream, like in the last week of all this, now the Kimmel stuff and just taking it all in. Like I may as well, like I could braid my armpit hair at this point. Like just before this, when I went to happy hour with a friend, I literally was like, outside civilization, like talking to a person. Oh, this is okay. Like I might as well be in The Sims. But JCL, the left won't tell you this, but the core tenet of fascism, nationalist take. Oh, big words, JCL, with a philosophy on actualism. Well, how about this? Because your words are wordsing. I did a little search myself. And just because I think everybody needs brushing up at this point, again, take it though with a grain of salt, because I am the Jewish girl who's also a Nazi. So weird. Here is for Sophia Bush, for this person in my DMs, for basically half of the planet. Here's the definition of fascist. Okay. Just a little brushing up. Fascist is a follower or proponent of fascism, a political ideology defined by a centralized autocratic government, dictator leadership, and suppression of opposition. So again, I don't know what screams all of that more than the Talk to Me Taylor platform. Yeah. I don't know. Literally, breaking out of the narratives and the control of what we were supposed to do and are supposed to do as women, as thinkers, as people on the left or the right, literally calling out all these motherfuckers, calling out the powers that be in entertainment, in institutions, in finance, in tech, in government. Yeah, I'm really someone who likes to clamp down on opposition. I just keep a little muzzle on. That's the plot twist. I keep a little muzzle on when I'm not shooting the show, and I muzzle everybody else too. Because, Taylor Ferber's my name, but it may as well be the F is really for fascist. So you caught me. You caught me. All right, moving on from that fucking sheer absurdity is the Jimmy Kimmel stuff. which has literally, like I said, has run my brain over with a tacky Hummer limo, basically. Okay, because oh, good God, I did see one. I've seen a couple subsequent tweets kind of mirroring this, but I did see one that really kind of, when you see one and you're like, that one hit. And it basically was like the media and the elites in Hollywood are melting down at Jimmy Kimmel getting suspended from his show, but had nothing to say about Charlie Kirk literally getting executed in a brutal way in front of our eyes, both for their opinions. Like, okay, that says everything that you need to know. And, I appreciated Dave Portnoy's input. He came at it from a very kind of like pragmatic, matter of fact, common sense as he does, like Dave Portnoy, the voice of reason, who would have thought, from like a capitalist market society point of view as he runs Barstool. And he's basically like, guys, we saw cancel culture, which was literally going into the archives of somebody's tweets to see if they said something offensive about hamsters and use it as a case against them in the present day and how it's offensive to the furry community. Like, that's how insane it was. But here you have somebody by the way, with the privilege, I would kill for Jimmy Kimmel's platform. It's there. All of these fuckers, like, they abuse it so much, but with the privilege of talking to a national audience and, obviously when the country is mourning and ripped apart and sick over this, there's a case to be made for going on in such an insensitive way. But also, here's the thing, saying something that was just so completely not based in anything and an outright lie and peddling, if you want to talk about real misinformation, that Charlie Kirk's assassin was a right-wing nut MAGA guy, when we know that that's not true. Well, we think it's not true, right? So this is just like on so many levels, and they want to cry about that. And that's Dave Portnoy's point. He's like, and also he's not been funny. I don't know if he's ever been funny. So he's hemorrhaging money for this network. On top of it, this was completely like not okay to some. So we're going to cut our losses, buddy. If you hire someone and they're like, my boss, John Legend, Furry Hamster, yeah, Jimmy Pocahontas. Yeah, if you hire someone and they're like, my boss is a big fat bitch, it's like, are you going to be like, okay, Sally, that's your free speech? You're going to be like, can it, lady? And that's Dave Portnoy's point. It's like if the juice isn't worth the squeeze. It's like, it's kind of like apples and oranges, not to be on the fruit theme. But to me, like, to take it a step further, I feel like somebody who also captured this well was Roseanne Barr, because she reposted Barack Obama saying like, oh, this has gone too far. This is a dictatorship, Trump and blah, 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 blah. You get it, right? The usual jibber jabber. She literally quoted it in a tweet and said, remember when you and your wife basically called to get me fired from my network? And that says it right there. And I have to say, guys, I mean, unpopular take. JCL, I agree with you. Okay, they're all like, even Bernie Sanders I saw today. He's like, Trump is responsible. I'm like, what? This is where, guys, I'm sorry. Somebody's going to have to work overtime to get my brain out of this jigsaw puzzle from hell. Because again, first of all, why are they like burning all these people? Like, the Trump admitted this is a dictatorship. I'm like, what is he? Maybe I'm just ignorant to this part or naive. I don't know what Trump has anything to do with this. Yeah, Disney did it himself because he violated FCC, right? The FCC chairman came out and spoke out about knowingly lying, right? But the part that has my brain literally in another dimension, guys, before Talk to Me Taylor, my show was called Cancel Me Baby, okay, in 2020. And it was the height of cancel culture. And when everybody was getting canceled for literally the most obscure shit. And I would just mock how ridiculous it all was and how stupid it was. Now we're seeing the swing of it, right? We're seeing a couple things. We're seeing the delay, like it's not working for people, obviously, like these companies saving face in what they think people want. Like people don't want, nobody asked. But also, like, now the like, people calling it out for how ridiculous it was. Again, I'm like, where were you all 5 years ago? But fine, to each their own. Some people are just slow. I'm not going to fault you guys for being on the short bus. You know, Chris Cuomo, all those people. But further, now the backlash. But that's the part to me again, and I'm going to get to my unpopular take and my hot take about all this. But this is where I'm like, this is how bought in. And I'm really trying to awaken myself. Okay. Like, I'm fucking I'm trying to not do the F-bombs and be a lady. It was that half a glass of rosé. Just call me Neo in Major. I'm really trying to come to be above and pull myself, extract myself from the umbilical cord of the algorithm and be like, are we all just this literal brainwashed where we think that this is our reality? Because guys, to them, their reality, I'm like, this is coming from the same people who literally canceled others for like wearing blue shoes and blue and red thing, whatever, for wearing orange shoes instead of blue. Like the most obscure thing. And now we have somebody who came out on a national stage with the most, not only just insensitive and offensive, but outright lie about a very serious, heightened, heavy political topic. And you guys are upset? Like, what? I'm like, make it the bat. It makes you go fucking crazy. It literally makes you crazy. This is why it's driving me to drink. It will literally make you insane. This is why, I don't know if you can see it. I'm getting my little white hairs. Hey, Snowman, John Legend, all the usual. Okay, you guys are just in time, but you missed my big news break. I think JCL caught it. You're going to have to rewind. You missed my breaking news that I am history's first blonde, big titted, Jewish, uncensored, call out power structures, call out both political parties, tits out, brain out, fascist. Oh, and Jewish. Did I say Jewish? Yeah, fascist you ever saw. So mark down today. It's in the history books. I explained it in the beginning of the app. But here's my hot take on Jimmy Kimmel is that I don't think that he should be fired. I don't think that he should be fired. And it's not to placate the left. It's because I mean what I say and am ride or die for it. I said this, and I'm not equivocating people like Gina Carano or whoever the millions of people, Robert Malone, who was on the show last night, like all those people getting platformed and deplatformed and punished to something like a Jimmy Kimmel. But because, now you have the left being like, oh, you guys were all upset about cancel culture, but now it's okay when it's someone you don't like. And they're both saying about each other, right? Which is like the biggest circus clown show. But my thing is, why? It's what I said about Chrissy Teigen when she came for me and our whole cancel culture thing in my show on Tuesday. This doesn't get us anywhere. In a perfect world, my crystal balls would have it, no one listens to a little blonde, especially now that we've deemed her fascist in the DMs. It just perpetuates more of a resentful cycle, right? That's what happened when cancel culture first started. We common sense thinking folk were resentful of all of these causes and the virtue signalers, right? Because they were clamping down so hard. So now if we do this, it's just going to go the other way. Now it just causes resent. In a perfect world, why don't we open up the dialogue? Could you imagine if Jimmy Kimmel had even half of a testicle to be like, don't fire him, guys. First of all, he's not even funny. His show is shit. So it's going to go down the toilet any hour now. So let it dissolve on its own with the flushable wipe that, I may or may not have just abused. I'm saying you get it. But could you imagine if he had half of a ball to be like, really address why he was completely inaccurate, maybe bought in to his side, to the algorithm, perpetuating something and why it's part of the problem. Like, not this like fake shit we used to see, which like so-and-so issued an apology pre-ChatGPT that their publicist wrote up for them. No, none of that shit. It's the same thing I said about Chrissy Teigen. Like, you're a cyberbully, bitch. Open up a dialogue about it. Why did you do it? How did it make you feel? How do you hope to be better? That is where I hope to see That's what I would hope to see with Jimmy Kimmel. Like, actually own it and open up that dialogue. And then let the show fizzle out on its own because it's trash anyway. And like I said at the beginning of the show, like sidebar, but these guys are all so entitled and privileged. I'm not saying that they haven't worked hard in their careers. I don't know. To me, the Jimmy Johns, the Seths, the Oliver, John, they're all Johns and Jimmys, right? Basically, they're all the same to me. And I'm not knocking that I don't know them each individually, their backstory. I could care less. And I'm sure I'm not to knock that they haven't worked hard, but it's like there are so many promising voices and like they all used it on this. It's such a privilege that's just literally thrown in the trash. Like I said in the beginning of the show, I would kill for a platform like that. I mean, we're going to do that here on GNN and dismantle those hoes Snowman's here and dethrone them. Snowman. Kimmel and Kilmeade both got to go. FCC level, you shouldn't talk like that on television. That's just my take. I don't think that firing him will get this anywhere. And like I said the other day in my show, it's like, again, I think that this is that like where I align with the Portnoys in that it's like petty cancel culture this is another ball game. I don't see them as the same eye for an eye. But it's going to be whack-a-mole that just literally never stops. We're probably in purgatory as we speak. Like Charlie Kirk, I'm sure you wouldn't want to hear that. You know, I hope you're having a great week up there. But like maybe we are just in a purgatory that never ends. I saw the funniest tweet from this Canadian woman and she was like, just checking in from Canada on the States. Like, are you guys good? Yeah, Snowman. Words have consequences. I know. And people on the right are saying like this isn't cancel culture. It's consequence culture. And look, I said in my show the other day, guys, that again, the government needs to stay out of this, like step off, like it's School of Rock, you know, step off. No one wants to hear me sing right now. But I get it. I get private employers can do whatever they want. And truthfully, okay, let's have a little self-reflection moment because while we're doing this, okay. I actually thought twice. This is not flattering, but so what you see is what you get. Just like this whole episode that was clearly not planned. In the wake of all this, Charlie Kirk, which I'm also kind of really reflecting on, like, why is it striking a nerve and making everybody reevaluate everything? But all of this too, the free speech stuff, which again, like hold my earrings, that's my like Super Bowl, but why it's making me reevaluate everything. And I'm not going to lie, I'm so like held firm in my convictions. And I like to pride myself, like I said, on kind of like calling out both sides, even though I can own where I come from. I can own that I'm center right leading. I can own that I'm a Jewish woman. I can own my biases, but I'm not going to lie. Okay, Rob Nelson, who does a Rob Nelson show on GNN here, he watched my free speech show the other night on Tuesday night, and he kind of called me out privately. He was like, you don't even see how you're it too. Like, you think that you call out both and all this, and he's like, I don't think the average viewer would notice this. Because funny enough, I did have viewers reach me being like, that part right there, like, right, how it's like, I'm a free speech advocate. I don't have to like it. But, you know, you can say whatever you want to say. But again, you're right, Snowman, that it has consequences. But he was like, you don't even see too how you in your own way are bought into stuff. So I'm literally questioning my entire reality. I'm like, did the algorithm make me its bitch and will like spank me and make me kiss its feet for its feet fetish tonight? Like, I don't even know. Maybe I'm literally like dissolving all the walls around me. And in my personal life too, I'm reevaluating all of this, like what I do, even like my personal life, my relationship, how I've done all this. And I'm like, what about all this? What about all this is making us reevaluate everything? And I can tell you this with the Charlie Kirk thing. You guys are so funny in the comments with the vision. That's funny. With the Charlie Kirk thing, I mean, you guys in the comments, let me know. For me, I feel like, and obviously, JCL, I like that about you, Taylor. You're willing to call out both sides and not be a puppet for the RNC, like how Harry Sisson, oh my God, don't even get me started. Speaking of, thank you, JCL. Speaking of Harry Sisson, you guys get a load of this. I was actually cast in a Vice political panel in the in like March, because they're trying to do this thing like a jubilee, and I show up in like my, pink Barbie Elle Woods outfit, and I'm just like schooling everybody and calling them all out. And the producer and the head of Vice said to me afterward, he was like, "You were the only true libertarian to call out both sides." And everyone else is like, "No, I'm in the middle." And he's like, "You were literally the only one." And he's like, you come in walking like Barbie. And he's like, behind the scenes, all the producers and the women were like, "What the fuck? Like, what's she saying?" and agreeing and nodding their heads. But Harry Sisson was on the panel because they did a men's panel and a female. And the male, he was on the one before me, which is kind of funny, but I didn't meet him. But okay, back to sorry, I did the weave like Trump. Back to the Charlie Kirk thing before we wrap this shit up. Is I think a reason it's making us like, I'm definitely in an existential moment. I'm perpetually existential. It's just how I am. I don't know if it's an Aquarius thing, a Taylor thing, whatever. But I'm definitely in an existential era right now. And I think the Charlie Kirk thing, two things. One, you guys know I'm not particularly religious, although I may not do the show tomorrow night to go to temple. But there's one thing. He was so convicted about his faith and about being in line with Jesus, and Jesus like actually being like, you die. And like, I've even seen his wife or someone say like Jesus's hand is on his face now, like just so like walking, like everything living, breathing for Jesus, literally Charlie Kirk. And then we see him just slaughtered in such a PTSD inducing way. The one thing Candace Owens said, I agree with her on, it is PTSD inducing. And we saw it in front of our eyes, and it makes you think like that was his entire existence. Was he right? Like in that moment, was he right? And I heard a testimony yesterday from this man who's like a father to him and was there. He literally was one of the men who carried Charlie like into the car and into the hospital. And he says, this is really bleak, but he says like his eyes were already like he was gone. Like his eyes were looking right past me to Jesus, So we saw it and it was so visceral. And it makes me think like this was his mission in life. He said it over and over, like my faith, family, basically like building a legacy. His faith was number one. And it's like all of that. And is it true? Like, was it true? Is he actually hand in hand with Jesus right now? So that's what makes us think, right? And secondly, for me at least, why I'm existential is because yes, like my entire mission and purpose in this life and in my work and all the shows and written work and interviews, everything is free speech. And what I saw last week was again that very thing, like democracy and civil debate in the most respectful way, in the most democratic way, and it's just shot and killed brutally right in front of us. I can't get it out of my head, hence why I'm still sleeping with the light on. And it made me think like, is it even what I'm doing? Like, is it even a thing? Do people care? Is it just going to be shot down? What's the purpose? Is it real? Like similarly with Charlie Kirk with the Jesus thing, like, is it real? So I'm reevaluating completely everything. And like I said, I'm not going to get too into the nitty gritty, but things, guys, like even my own, all of it, my womanhood, my sexuality, my relationship, like all of it. I'm just going to put up some of your comments here. As per usual, I'm rambling on, I think, and this show is going to wrap soon. So some other things about the Kimmel situation that really struck me. Jillian Michaels, who basically said, and I was curious for your guys' thoughts on this. I mean, she basically said, like, I've really tried to have discourse with both sides. And I think she used to be a lefty too. And she basically says, like, it's kind of similarly to what I said in one of my earlier shows. Like, the left is just so insufferable and so hateful and spiteful. Like, I've tried, like, they will just, in the moment, they will call you a racist, call you a fascist. As displayed in today's episode, people just call me like a walking museum, Smithsonian art exhibit. And she says something to the effect of like, I've tried, I give up. And it's almost like we have to dry the well. We have to dry the hate. So instead of continuously having dialogue with them, like dry it up. And, I don't know how I feel about that because again, like I'm reevaluating everything. Again, I pride myself on being a true free speech advocate and people saying whatever it is. It could be the most vile, nastiest shit. And yes, Snowman, to your point, there are consequences. But I heard this quote once and I can't get it out of my head. And it's like free speech is like there's hate speech, there's all this, but you don't dry it out and you don't clamp it down. It's like you just be louder. You just be louder and better and stronger speech. And I've even, like, when Rob called me out for my show the other night, I even thought about what I said on my show. And I was like, was I just emotionally like riled up and fired up? When I said if there was somebody working for me, a creative director, an intern, or whoever it was, and I saw distasteful views about Charlie Kirk's death on their socials, I said at the time the other night, like, they'd be out the door. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Don't send me a postcard. Like, have fun in the Bermuda Triangle. I don't even care. And I thought about it. I was like, this is where it's so confusing. And again, like mental gymnastics, because yes, it's like speech has consequences. And like I said, the right is now saying consequence culture. Whereas like before it was just nonsense, petty, stupid culture. But I thought like in the moment, I was like, would I actually fire that? Like, was I just heated in the moment the other night when I said that? Or would I actually in real life be like, you're fired, you're gotta go? I mean, of course, it depends on the severity, right? Who you have around you, quality, not quantity. If this person is like, Jews need to be dead, I'm probably going to be like, yeah, I don't know if you should be on my team as an employee. But there was a part of me that was like, again, I like a plethora and a range of ideas, and it could be totally opposite than mine. And if they're really good at their jobs, like there was a part of me that was like, would I secretly just be like, I am watching, like Robert De Niro, like I am watching you, and just secretly judge and have it in my back pocket? I mean, I hate confrontation. I don't know if I actually would. Again, it depends on the situation, but I don't know. It's really something to think about. And like Dave Portnoy said, it's like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Because there is a part of me, like there are people, again, like the guy in my DMs earlier, like people I've referenced on the show who I follow, and I disagree with them so deeply, but it's like, I don't see them as any less. I don't see them as any less of humans. So I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, am I contradicting myself? Am I a fraud by saying like, I don't think so, but like I'm a free speech advocate, but if someone in my company or in my organization took it too far and went with this, what would I do? Like, would I let them go? Is that then contradictory? Like, guys, the pretzel is pretzeling. And I will say, yes, while I'm questioning all of my reality, and I'm sorry to bring you into that with me, but I think we all need to question our reality. Guys, nobody's questioning their reality. That's why we got in this mess. That's why Sophia Bush is on Instagram being like, fascism. It's like, lady, keep it to the One Tree Hill reboots and let's just move it reruns and let's move on with our day. It's why Jimmy Kimmel is in this mess. It's why somebody called me a fascist in my goddamn DMs, which like I'm literally the complete antithesis. Like people, it's what I said the other day. They're not even thinking straight. But moreover, they're not even questioning their reality. The reality that the algorithms put us in, that everyone around us just confirms. And I'm stepping out going, well, shit, I don't even know that I know. It's like Friends. They don't know that we know that they know. Like that's basically my brain in the Olympics. But I have to say, and then I'm gonna wrap this. And this is again about being about it. Did you guys see that Comedy Central is going to take down the Charlie Kirk episodes that they did about all of his debates, and they called him like the master debater and all this? And Charlie Kirk loved it. I went back on some of his videos and he loved it. He was like, it's an honor. He made his avatar the South Park cartoon. And he was like, I'm not offended. They actually nailed it, like the water in between questions and them holding the microphone and the gestures. And they like went down and took out or not airing the episodes. And I was like, that's so stupid. And and this is where you see a glaring difference, right? This is where you see a glaring difference. It's like from what we've witnessed, we've seen the left, so to speak, be like, yeah, take this down, take that down. Don't air this, don't air that. Now we see Comedy Central actually doing that. And I've seen flocks of people in the comments being like, Charlie wouldn't have wanted this. Keep the episodes. This was like his pride and joy. He was like, I made it on South Park. I made it. And on top of it, like, it's fun and games and we're not offended and we have fun with it. Like, what are you doing? Like, that to me, it's just stupid. It's not even what he would have wanted. He celebrated it. And you want to talk about free speech? Like, no one's offended. It's just also ass backwards. I'm going to address some of these comments and then save the best for last. I'm going to play for you a voice message that I sent somebody about Candace Owens and her whole thing about Bill, how do you pronounce last name? BB, the whole thing. Hang on, let me see. Snowman. Without consequences, you can't identify mental illness, and that's a battleground of the DNC. Snowman. Oh my God. They're all mentally ill. Oh, that is so funny. I mean, there is something to be said about that. That made me laugh. Give the people some dictionaries. No, literally. Maybe that I've been in this existential thing of like, how do I help? Maybe I just print these little dictionaries and hand them out. And maybe that's the move, John Legend. Maybe that is the move. I actually saw this clip last night of Charlie Kirk because I've just been watching his stuff. And did you guys see this? He had mini copies of the Constitution, and it was like for third graders or something, and he gave them out to kids on campus. And there was this one kid on the mic, he was all offended. And he was like, "What do you think, that we're third graders?" And Charlie's like, "Okay, what's the 10th Amendment? What's the this? What's the that?" He doesn't know anything. It's like, exactly. I'm going to do that with dictionaries. Okay. Last up, everybody, is the Candace Owens just thing that won't stop. Okay, so here's how I feel about this. And I say it because I'm like, you can't just duplicate. You can't just say it well twice. So basically, this guy who I know and he has followed my work, he sent me this voicemail. And see, this is where you just own where you're at. People will just dissolve this. Like, people will be like, agree to disagree, or they'll move over a little bit to where you're at and be like, yeah, I respect it. Like, if it's not this psychopathic Mike Myers behavior, like if it's just civilized, normal stuff. So he sent me a voice memo in DMs and was like, Candace Owens is killing it. She is a savage. I'm obsessed. Da da da. What do you think? And I've been keeping up. Okay. So I'm not just talking like all these people just talk. They don't even know. I'm actually keeping up. And by the way, do you guys like my Y2K shirt? It's just indicative of a better time before we were in this mental hell. And so I thought I would play for you my response because, again, I'm like, it can't be replicated. And I'm just going to play because it was raw in the moment. It was this morning while I was having coffee. And so here's what I think about the Candace Owens situation. I could just say it now, but here it is.
Yeah, so I watched last night. I watched the one before that with Bill, and that whole thing. I think that she's a grifting psycho bitch, I'll be honest. Like, I think she's very, very good at what she does. I think she's like a media marketing, like, master manipulator. I just think this whole thing is like, and I can appreciate her like not stopping and being so vocal and like going after what she thinks is truth. But I think like in this particular case, like I love her Macron stuff. I loved the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni. I just think it's I think it's just so grifting and tacky and inappropriate. Like, I keep wondering, is Charlie Kirk's wife okay with this? Like, I don't know. It just seems so clickbaity to me. And I think the stuff about like, okay, so, and I get it. Like, I'm a Jewish woman, so I'm coming at it from this vantage point, but like, okay, bitch, you're trying to tell me that Bibi invited Charlie Kirk to Israel and like 5 days later planned his assassination with Bill Ackman. Like, the whole thing is just so fucking crazy. And I don't know. I just think it's really,
I don't remember oh, wait, here we go.
Fucking tasteless and trying to get fucking clicks and profiting off of it. I think that there's a way to do it. I think she totally could have still done this and been like, wait, something's not adding up here. Like, what are with these fucking doctored fake ass texts and all that? But I don't know. And the fact that she's like, I will come for you, turning point. It's just so aggressive and unnecessary. I'm like, bitch, fucking chill. You're going to get your coin. Like, it's just tacky, I think.
And that's what I said about that. So it's like, again, acknowledge that you know, are going for the truth, that these texts look doctored, that something's not adding up. And it's like, yes, Bibi Netanyahu invited Charlie a couple weeks ago to Israel. He said no. And so then he orchestrated a whole plan to assassinate him with the billionaire Bill. Like, it's just like, lady, literally, I don't know, take a trip somewhere with a lot of sun and let me know how that goes for you. Anyway, guys, thank you for being along for the ride tonight. Holy shit, I don't even know. All I have to say is keep on questioning your reality. Thanks for being along mine as I try to, break out of this Truman Show nightmare. I don't know if I'm going to be sleeping with the lights on tonight. We'll see. And I'm going to sign off from your favorite new fascist, Talk to Me Taylor. I love you guys. I may or may not see you tomorrow because I may try to be a good little Jewish girl and, in the spirit of Charlie, go to temple tomorrow night for Friday night service, but we will see. But either way, guys, thank you for being part of my fever dream. You are welcome anytime and enjoy your stay. I'll see you next time, guys. Chris, how was your pee break?
My pee break.
They might flash you. Understand?
Random, baby.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I too am a thought criminal.
Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
messing around?
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me Taylor.